What's going on, everybody? Catching up with Hogs men's basketball recruit Isaiah Elohim. I'm Evan Kamikow. That's Kevin McPherson. Isaiah, I want to start with this. In your recruiting process, you're originally from New York. You're out in California right now. How did you end up with the Hogs? And I heard there was a conversation you had with Anthony Black that kind of led the way.
Yeah, I feel like we had a great conversation. I mean, he explained it to the T, so and also the visit was amazing. The coaching staff treated me really well. They basically set my role here for me. They were being very honest with me. They were being very honest about what I was gonna do here. How I was gonna do this and do that. So that's what made me make the best decision for me and my family.
Yeah, awesome. Kevin, anything?
Yeah, absolutely. Isaiah, it's good to be with you. Thanks for joining us. I've been with you and your recruiting for well over a year. At every stage, it seems like I've gotten some of the best quotes I've gotten from a recruit from you. I remember when Musk called you, made the offer, you shot me a text right away and said you were so excited. But also after your visit, you told me that Musk basically told you everything that you needed to hear. You kind of touched on it a little bit, but I'm really interested about some other things on that visit. Your reaction from practice and what you saw during practice that you're able to attend. Maybe what some other things from the fan base and the game day atmosphere, but just some of that stuff that kind of blended in to help you with your decision.
It had a lot to do with my decision, because it's a big old college town. It was about 37,000 people. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's a big old college town. The football game was amazing. The crowd was cheering. And I mean, the Arkansas people around Arkansas love Arkansas. So that's what kind of made me really surprised about the campus and about how many people just loved being at the games and loved supporting their team and what they do. So that went in a lot into it as well.
So, and you got to attend the basketball practice. What did you take away from that? What was that experience like?
The basketball practice was really good. It went about an hour and 15 minutes. They got everything quick. It was like that. The plays were ran quick. The practice was very high paced. Coach Musk was calling the plays, and the players knew it. Like they've been doing it for a really long time. It was a great practice. For me to see that kind of practice actually motivated me to take some things from that and put it into my high school practice and stuff like that.
What were some of those things? Sorry, Kevin. What were some of those things that you took from that practice?
Just to know all the plays and run them the right way. How hard they practice. I definitely took that into consideration as well, and try and practice how hard they practice. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And just the concepts of how they practice and what they did. I definitely took that too.
Isaiah, you mentioned AB and some of his impact. Seeing three Razorbacks one and dones last year going into the NBA draft and knowing Musselman's pedigree, not only from the NBA, but getting players into the NBA, how much did that play into your process and your decision making?
That went in a lot to it as well. Because not like just wanting to do one and done or nothing else. Not like that, but he gives the players the best opportunity to be a high draft pick and be a lottery pick in the NBA. So that's definitely what I took from there.
You also, whether it's Paul George Elite, Sierra Canyon, where you play basketball, one of the independent high school powerhouses in high school basketball, all these opportunities where Arkansas coaches came out to see you. But you also talked to me about an injury and that Arkansas continued to show you respect and love through that process and stuck with you. Can you talk a little bit about that and share some of your thoughts on that as well?
That was basically everything to me. How much support they had shown me, throughout the process of me going through my injury and honestly a couple of injuries, I was having a kind of a tough time, with that kind of stuff. And their support and their honest, just like gratitude towards recruiting me showed who they truly were. And my decision wasn't a hard decision from there.
Evan, did you restart? Evan?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, did you have some? I thought I heard you.
No, I do have something. I'll jump right back in.
Yeah.
Isaiah, when you we're going through your recruiting process, what really about Muss stuck out to you?
Most definitely his play style. Most definitely the way he runs things, the way he coaches. I've looked into a lot of his interviews, and the way he believes in his players is definitely a thing that I like about Coach Muss the most, and about the whole Arkansas program as a whole.
And what are some of the things that, you still got some time before you get here to Fayetteville? What are some of the things that you are looking forward to working on before hitting campus in a couple of years?
Just working on my overall game, working on my overall strength. Just working on staying healthy throughout the season and all that stuff, gaining real consistency. And, just evaluating myself before I head off and live by myself at college.
Isaiah, you were recruited coast to coast, some of the biggest names in college basketball. You took the visit to Kansas. You visited Villanova, East Coast, where you're from, the East Coast. And then you also considered visits to USC and I believe Providence. So West Coast, East Coast, schools in between. Did you just kind of decide to meet somewhere in the middle with college basketball and come to the SEC in Arkansas with all those options?
It didn't matter about the location to me, to be honest. It just mattered about, the place, what type of college town it was, the coaching staff and all that. It didn't really matter about location to me.
All right, let's talk about your game real quick, because when I watch you on tape, I see a guy who is skilled, but also packages that skill with a bully ball mentality. You'll go left, you'll go right. It looks like to me you're sizing dudes up and saying, I don't care what you are, I'm coming after you. Fearless attacking the rim, getting into that mid-range game, opportunistic three-point shooter. That's what I see. What are the strengths of your game? How do you see yourself?
I see myself as just that, just as you described, but also getting better from the three as well, working on my playmaking, my passing, and stuff like that, rebounding, just having an all-around game, and most importantly, working on my defense, because I want to really hang my hat on that and be known as a great defender, the best defender in the country.
You had an outstanding showing at NBA Top 100 camp, but you're also a multi-sport athlete. I saw this and I was so intrigued by it because as an old guy, I know what Nerf ball is. We had a Nerf goal in the house because when we couldn't play outside because of weather, it was too late to be outside. We played the Nerf hoop. But there's something called Nerf ball. It's actual sport. Can you tell me what that is, what your participation was, and how you did in that event?
Nerf ball is complicated, so I might not be explaining it correct, but there's about 7 to 8 guys that get guys or girls that you're playing with. You're playing against obviously 7 to 8 guys or girls. You all have guns, and they had this like special little system where you get hit, it lights up. So that'll count as like someone going out, and they'll tally mark points just like that. If somebody hits you or you hit somebody, then they're out, and that will count as a point. But if you score, that'll be like 15 points. So it kind of worked like that. But it was just a fun game all around. I got to hang on with some really good people, some people I didn't really know. And it was just fun all around.
What about Isaiah Elohim that Arkansas fans don't know yet that they're going to find out about you? And really, less than a year's time. I mean, move-in's usually around Memorial Day weekend next year, so that's not that far off, really.
They don't know how much energy that I really have on the basketball court. Sometimes I get really wild and get really hectic. I wouldn't say hectic, but I have a lot of energy. It's very controlled, obviously. It's not wild and sporadic, but I have lots of energy when I get on the basketball court.
Well, Isaiah, we cannot wait to see you bring all of that energy to Fayetteville. Thank you so much. That's 4-star small forward Isaiah Elohim coming to Arkansas soon. For Kevin McPherson, I'm Evan Kamikow. We'll see you all next time.